Some PC enthusiasts swear by their hulky desktops, but the reality? Picking the best gaming laptop is a more practical choice for many shoppers. But how do you make sense of all the screen sizes, 14 to 18 inches, and component options, Core, Ryzen, Radeon, GeForce, you face when shopping? Our experts can help. Gaming laptops are all about tested CPU and graphics performance, and our analysts are aces at benchmarking and evaluating these laptops to find the best values. They also assess design, usability, connectivity, and display quality in every model. Our favorites are organized into budget, under about $1,200, mid-range, between $1,200 and $2,000, and high-end $2,000 and up categories. Our top gaming laptop for most shoppers is the Lenovo Legion Slim 5 Gen 8, but we present a breakout of additional tested vetted picks, shopping advice, and critical specs for pinpointing the best gaming laptop for you. We have listed the top 5 best gaming laptops of 2025, and their key features you need to consider this to help you choose the best one for you. For more information on the product, as always, I've included a link in the description box down below, which are updated with the best prices on each product. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Be sure to stay tuned till the end so you don't miss anything. Now let's get started. Number 1. Gigabyte G6X. If you're looking for an attractively priced gaming laptop, a wealth of options are currently available. Of course, lowering the pricing barrier means that the Gigabyte G6X uses a 13th generation Intel Core processor and a lower-end NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060 GPU to hit a $1,299 price point. The G6X's primary specs include a 165Hz, 16-inch 1920x 1200 display, a generous 32GB of DDR5 4800 memory, and a 1TB SSD. However, a fair number of compromises prevent the G6X from landing on our coveted best gaming laptops under $1,500 list. The G6X is a mid-range gaming laptop, and you won't find copious amounts of aluminum used in its chassis or lid. Instead, the chassis and lid are made of thick plastic. It gives the laptop a beefy and rugged appearance without feeling cheap. The entire exterior of the laptop is finished in a matte black color, but Gigabyte has chosen to give it a bit of flair. The lid has Gigabyte spelled in capital letters, while an X is etched into the lower left corner of the lid. The X is surrounded by etched graphics. That same design is mirrored on the left side of the palm rest. Gigabyte incorporates a single-zone RGB keyboard and a number pad for those who like to use them for data entry, myself included. A smallish touchpad is positioned just off-center below the keyboard. Keeping a gaming laptop cool is incredibly important, and Gigabyte provides plenty of vents to exhaust hot air. 3-slot vents are on both sides of the chassis, while 2 4-slot vents are in the back. There are a USB 3.0 Type-A and USB-C port on the left side of the chassis, while another USB 3.0 Type-A port and a 3.5mm audio jack are found on the opposite side. On the rear panel, you'll find the proprietary barrel-style input for the power adapter, a full-size Ethernet port, and another USB-C port. The G6X is powered by an Intel Core i7-13650HX processor, 32GB of DDR5 4800 memory, 2x 16GB, and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060 105 watts. Number 2. Asus ROG Zephyrus G14. A beefy graphics card paired with the lovely 14-inch screen size at an affordable price? That's the Asus ROG Zephyrus G14. And when you add extras like an OLED display and battery life impressive for a gaming laptop, it's hard for me to not fall in love with this thing. The G14 is the smallest model in the Zephyrus line, so it's extremely portable. You can outfit it with an NVIDIA RTX 4060 or 4070 graphics card, depending on whether you want to save some cash or max it out. It feels as comfortable to use as the MacBook Air M1 2020 that I use for work, but it comes with luxury features that make playing games, and even watching movies, a top-tier experience. The Zephyrus G14 isn't built to be a powerhouse. Consider a laptop like the Asus ROG Strix Scar 18 for that. But what power it does have is well allocated. The Zephyrus is powered by AMD's Ryzen R9 8945HS, a powerful processor paired with the RTX 4060 laptop graphics card, It tackles most games with ease and can even run some of the heaviest AAA titles reasonably well. Both Starfield and Cyberpunk 2077 managed to maintain a respectable 50 to 60 frames per second on medium graphics settings at the laptop's full 2880E80-1800 resolution. Starfield dipped to around 40 FPS in areas like New Atlantis that have famously struggled to get very high frame rates. But this is still reasonably high, given that Starfield is capped at 30 FPS on the Xbox. When adjusting the display to 1080p, I could crank the graphics settings in Cyberpunk and Starfield up to high while maintaining roughly the same 50 to 60 FPS. By staying on medium, I got over 60 FPS in both games. I prefer the latter approach since smoother gameplay feels better for me than extra foliage detail. But there's flexibility here to tailor the experience to your desires. Number 3. MSI Titan 18HX. If cost is no object and you're seeking a desktop-like laptop experience for maximum performance, look no further than the MSI Titan 18HX, 5,399 as tested. This 18-inch powerhouse packs a fresh Intel 14th Gen Raptor Lake refresh, Core i9-HX processor, an RTX 4090 GPU, a whopping 128 GB of memory, a 4 TB solid-state drive, and a 4K 120Hz mini LED display. Enthusiast gamers are more than covered, meaning this is a machine for demanding media, processing, or data crunching tasks in addition to gaming. Outside of that thin upper slice of the market, the Alienware M18 is a comparatively more approachable 18-inch machine. At the same time, the editor's choice. Award-holding Lenovo Legion Pro 7i Gen 8 is the best overall value among gaming laptops costing more than $2,000. The Titan, as ever, is a pick for peak power seekers untethered from the budget or space constraints of mere mortals. When you see an 18-inch gaming laptop, it needs little introduction. You can rightly assume it's going for power. That's even more the case for the Titan 18 than others, as the name suggests, pulling no punches in its design or choice of high-end components, as was evident when we first saw this system at a CES 2024 preview. Older big-screen laptops used to go even bigger, so the Titan is perhaps relatively compact versus the behemoths of old, but it's still a beast when put against most modern laptops. Specifically, it measures 1.25 by 15.9 by 12 inches and weighs 7.93 pounds, a reasonable footprint for an 18-inch system, but sparing little concern for weight. Laptops of this size, bluntly, are not meant to be moved much. These are desktop replacement devices, giving you a monitor-like experience and destined to stay put on your desk. Number 4. Lenovo Legion Pro 5. The Legion Pro 7i Gen 8 might be the top dog in Lenovo's gaming kennel, but the AMD-based Legion Pro 5 Gen 8 starts at $1,082.99, $1,996.799 as tested, offers a compelling proposition. A similarly impressive design with a few lower-tier parts for a much lower price. The downgrades aren't glaringly obvious and make the Legion Pro 5 a very solid 16-inch mid-range gaming laptop that doesn't give rivals like the MSI Katana 15 much room to breathe. Lenovo has been crushing it design-wise with the last couple of iterations of its Legion gaming rigs, and that continues with the Legion Pro 5 Gen 8. The notebook may have a polycarbonate base instead of the aluminum of the Legion Pro 7i, but it's a solid-feeling plastic, and the lid is high-quality aluminum. The design feels pretty much as tanky and robust as its more premium siblings, with ample cooling vents occupy nearly half of each flank and a good portion of the back edge, supplemented by a wide intake grill on the underside. Despite all those cooling vents, the system manages to find plenty of room for ports. There's one USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type-A port on each side, a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C port on the left, and an audio jack near the webcam privacy shutter switch on the right. Most of the ports are around back, where you'll find another USB-C and another 2 USB-A ports, an HDMI 2.1 monitor port, a gigabit Ethernet jack, and a DC power connector, though the rear USB-C port allows up to 140 watts of power delivery. The rear ports are neatly labeled with a legend just above each on the laptop's surface, so you can see which is which without having to turn the machine around. Number 5. Razer Blade. 18. Razer's Blade. 14 is my go-to recommendation for anyone hunting for a good gaming laptop. But as impressive as it trades power for portability. If that's the kind of sacrifice you don't want to make, then say hello to the Razer Blade 18. This is the powerhouse you're looking for. Side by side with the Razer Blade 14, the Blade 18 looks like a protective big brother. You can see the family resemblance, but the larger blade is more imposing. Its 18-inch mini LED display is so bright it's almost overwhelming in dark rooms, and it produces vivid colors that rival the already stunning screen on the Blade 14. The Blade 18 starts at $3,100, but the model I tested is $4,500. You get a lot of power for the price. It packs a 14th generation Intel Core i9-14900HX processor, an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 laptop GPU, upgradable to the beastly RTX 4090, which is what I tested, 32 GB of RAM, and a 1 TB solid-state drive. It's the kind of power that can tear through even the most demanding games. Razer outdid itself with the display on the Razer Blade 18. The mini LED panel has a 2560x 600 pixel resolution with 2000 local dimming zones, delivering exceptional contrast between brighter and darker areas of the image. The Razer Blade 14 was already one of the most vibrant laptop screens I'd seen, but the Blade 18 makes it look dull by comparison. But what sets it apart is the 300 Hz refresh rate. At their best, most gaming laptops only support 240 Hz, which is plenty for most games. But for fast-paced titles like Overwatch 2, you want all the frames you can get, and the Blade 18 is one of the few laptops I've tested that can crank out that many reliably.